Eldoria, a city that defied gravity, a testament to human ingenuity. It floated amidst the clouds, a beacon of hope in a world scarred by conflict. Ancient machines hummed within its core, powered by Ethereum, a substance rarer than any gem. This ethereal energy pulsed through the city's veins, keeping it afloat, keeping it alive. Kaelen had once vowed to protect this city, a shadow walker they called him, an assassin cloaked in darkness. Now he returned, a ghost to his former life. The city's spires, once familiar, now felt like accusing fingers pointing at him from the heavens. Above, airships, sleek and silver, navigated the sky. They were more than just vessels, they were symbols of Eldoria's power, but even their elegance couldn't hide the tremor that ran through the city. A subtle vibration that spoke of instability. Whispers followed him. Whispers of his past, his deeds, his failures. They clung to him like smoke. His hand instinctively went to the hidden blade beneath his cloak, a silent promise and a reminder. Some sins could never be washed away. The arrival of the Solara sent ripples of unease through Eldoria. It was an airship unlike any other, its hull adorned with intricate carvings. This was no merchant vessel. This was a vessel of secrets. Aboard the Solara lay the Silver Requiem, an artifact of immense power. It was said to hold the key to stabilizing Ethereum, to calming the city's tremors. But it was also a relic steeped in forbidden knowledge, a tool that could easily become a weapon. Kaelen watched from the shadows as the airship docked. He could sense the weight of eyes upon him, the scrutiny of old comrades and enemies alike. Their gazes were blades, sharp and judging. He was a ghost returned to haunt them. The airship's ramp lowered, revealing a figure cloaked in silver. Lady Alara. Her eyes, the color of storm clouds, met Kaelen's across the distance. A flicker of recognition, a spark of something else he couldn't quite place. She had summoned him back for a reason. He moved through the city like a phantom. The familiar pathways, the hidden alleys, all whispered his name. He was a stranger in a city he once knew like the back of his hand. He sought out old contacts, their faces etched with the passage of time. Each meeting was a dance on a razor's edge. Trust was a luxury he could ill afford, especially now. There was Lyra, the information broker, her network of whispers spanning the entire city. Her eyes, sharp as ever, widened slightly at the sight of him. "Kaelen!" she breathed, her voice a hushed whisper. "You've returned." And then there was Darius, his former mentor, his face a mask of disappointment. "You walk a dangerous path," Darius warned, his voice heavy with disapproval. "The shadows cling to you, Kaelen. Don't let them consume you." Their words were a burden he carried. They were reminders of what he had been, what he had done, but they were also a lifeline, a connection to a past he could not outrun. The city's heart beat with political intrigue. Noble houses, each vying for power, whispered in the shadows. Their smiles hid daggers, their alliances as fleeting as the wind. At the heart of it all was the Council of Aethelers, the ruling body of Eldoria. They held the fate of the city in their hands, their decisions influenced by ambition and fear. Kaelen soon learned that the Silver Requiem was more than just a relic. It was a pawn in a dangerous game, a bargaining chip in the struggle for control of Eldoria. He found himself caught between loyalty and duty. The city that had once been his home was now a labyrinth of deception where every step could lead to betrayal. Section 5. The Serpent's Fang. A name slithered through the whispers. Valerius. Once a respected Aethelor, now a pariah, exiled for his ruthless ambition. Rumors claimed he sought to return to seize control of Eldoria, and the Silver Requiem was the key. Kaelen had faced many enemies in his time, but Valerius was different. He was cunning, ruthless, and driven by an insatiable hunger for power. He was a serpent, waiting to strike at the heart of Eldoria. The airship there became a stage for whispered conversations and veiled threats. Lady Alara, her motives as elusive as ever, seemed to dance between alliances, playing a dangerous game of her own. Kaelen knew he was just a pawn in their games, but he refused to be manipulated. He would retrieve the Silver Requiem, but he would do it on his own terms. Section 6. A city in freefall. Time was running out. The tremors that shook Eldoria were growing stronger, more frequent. The city was literally coming apart at the seams. Panic spread like wildfire through the sky streets, fueled by rumors and fear. Kaelen could feel the urgency in every beat of his heart. He had to get to the Silver Requiem, but the path was fraught with danger. Each step forward seemed to push him closer to an abyss. Betrayal struck when he least expected it. Lyra, his oldest contact, the one person he thought he could trust, revealed her true allegiance. "I'm sorry, Kaelen," she whispered, her voice laced with regret. "I have my own games to play. He should have seen it coming. He should have known better than to trust anyone." But in this city of shadows and secrets, even the keenest eyes could be deceived. Section 7, the Ethereum Chamber, the heart of Eldoria. It was here, amidst the humming machines and pulsing energy, that the Silver Requiem was kept. The chamber was a symphony of light and sound, a testament to human ingenuity and the power of Ethereum. But it was also a place of danger. The air crackled with energy. The slightest misstep could spell disaster. One wrong move could send the entire city plummeting from the sky. He fought his way through layers of security, his movements fluid, deadly. Guards fell, their bodies crumpling to the ground, their deaths a necessary evil in the face of a greater threat. The closer he got to the Silver Requiem, the heavier the burden on his soul felt. The artifact was more than just a relic. It was a symbol of hope, of salvation. But it could also be a weapon of unimaginable destruction. He finally reached the Silver Requiem, its ethereal glow illuminating the chamber. But his triumph was short-lived. A figure stepped out of the shadows. Darius, his former mentor, his eyes cold and unforgiving. "You were always too idealistic, Kaelen," Darius said, his voice laced with disappointment. "The world doesn't reward sentimentality, betrayal cut deeper than any blade." Darius, the man who taught him everything, had been playing his own game all along. He sought the Silver Requiem for himself, to seize control of Eldoria, to reshape it in his own image. They fought, their blades clashing in the heart of the Ethereum chamber. Every parry, every thrust was a betrayal of their shared past. Their movements were a blur of motion, a deadly dance between master and student. The battle raged, a whirlwind of steel and fury. But even as he fought, Kaelen couldn't shake the feeling of despair. How had things come to this? How had a city that once soared so high fallen so far? The chamber groaned, the Ethereum reacting to the violence, the city's tremors intensifying. Cracks spiderwebbed across the floor, threatening to split the chamber wide open. Darius lunged, his blade aimed at Kaelen's heart. Kaelen twisted, the blow grazing his arm. He retaliated, his own blade finding its mark. Darius stumbled back, his hand clutching his wound. Disbelief and pain contorted his features. "You could have been a god, Kaelen," he gasped, his voice weak. "We could have ruled this city together." But power meant nothing if it came at the cost of his soul. Kaelen had already walked that path, and he refused to walk it again. He stood alone in the Ethereum chamber, the Silver Requiem pulsing warmly in his hand. The city trembled around him, its fate hanging by a thread. He could feel the weight of millions of lives resting on his shoulders. He could use the Requiem to stabilize the city, to save Eldoria from certain doom. But a part of him, a dark and tempting voice, whispered that he could do more. He could reshape the city, mold it into something better, something stronger. He looked down at the fallen form of Darius, his former mentor, his betrayer. He saw the ambition that had consumed him, the lust for power that had led him down a path of destruction. Kaelen closed his eyes, the weight of his decision heavy on his heart. He had a choice to make. A choice that would determine not only his own fate, but the fate of Eldoria itself. The Silver Requiem pulsed with power. In that moment, Kaelen knew he couldn't become what he despised. He wouldn't rule through fear. He wouldn't sacrifice his soul to save a city that had already lost its way. He channeled the Requiem's energy, feeling its power coursing through him. The chamber hummed, responding to his touch. The tremors that had threatened to tear the city apart began to subside. But it wasn't enough. He could feel the city resisting him, its fate intertwined with the Ethereum. It was dying. With a heavy heart, he made a different choice, a choice that would haunt him forever. Using the Requiem, he severed the city's connection to the failing Ethereum, initiating a controlled descent. Eldoria would fall, but it would fall slowly, giving its people a chance to escape. It wouldn't be the glorious city in the sky it once was, but it would have a chance to rebuild, to learn from its mistakes. As the city began its slow descent, Kaelen disappeared into the throngs of evacuees. He was a ghost once more, fading into the shadows, forever bound to the legacy of the city he had loved and lost. The echoes of his choice, the Requiem's lament, followed him, a constant reminder of the price of redemption.